Hi, I'm Marissa Varney. I just want to talk a little bit about my field experience. Essentially, I was working 32 hours a week. I was working from home, thankfully, but working 32 hours a week, interning, I think 16 and a half hours a week, and taking care of my kiddo. So I'm married, I have a son, and that is essentially my life from January to the end of July. So I spent a lot of time trying to set proper boundaries to make sure that I was able to have time to complete my field forms, my supervision logs, my time sheets, making sure that I had time dedicated to homework. Um, because we always have homework, um, and then making sure that I had time for myself, and my family. So it was a lot. It was really challenging. I had to make some sacrifices, and I continue to tell myself that it is only temporary. There is an end goal. It's not going to be forever. I'm not going to it's not going to be forever. It's only temporary. So I was able to achieve success while balancing all of my life, my working life, my home life, my mom life, my school life, by having an amazing social support. So my husband was very helpful. He helped make dinner a lot of the times. He put my son to bed by himself so many nights. Um, one, two, three, 4 nights a week. So it was a lot on me. It was a lot on him. When I needed help, I asked for it. Whether that was from my field liaison, whether that was from my task advisor or my field supervisor. My husband and I would joke that my field liaison was my best friend and she didn't know. She didn't know it yet. But because I was in constant communication with her when I felt like I wasn't getting the support that I needed at my internship. So making sure that you're well taken care of, so you can do the best while you're at your placement, and the best at your own home life is really essential. It's really important. I definitely spoke with my field liaison quite a bit. She made things a little bit better for me. I was even able to advocate for myself and create more of a virtual opportunity, instead of changing my internship. So um, my family essentially has underlying conditions. So COVID has been rough with me, before like vaccinations. Obviously, having a small child, they aren't able to get vaccinated yet. So that's still a concern. That's still more of a worry. But making sure I would talk to my therapist once a month or so, but making sure that I still had someone to talk to, that was non-biased, that I can just let everything out. Making sure that I still had time for myself, my, family, and then just making sure that I had time to do my schoolwork and everything was really important. Um, and trying to make time for self-care. So self-care is something that was a little bit of a challenge, when you don't have a lot of time. However, there are still things that you can do to take care of yourself. Again, therapy once a month. I would go into my field, my placement a little bit late sometimes because I would have therapy. I would pull weeds on days when I could. I would make it a goal to do it once a week. If it didn't happen because something else came up or I had more schoolwork or whatever else happened, that's okay. But trying to take even a hot shower, like taking that extra time in the shower and breathing, it was helpful for me, because I didn't have all of the time to be able to do other activities that could have helped myself. I did read books. I guess I would listen to them on the way to my field placement. And on the way home. So I was, reading, I was keeping myself busy, but I was also trying to make time to relax as best as I could, because I had a lot going on. Working 32 hours a week, having a kid at home, it's hard, and being in school and interning. So giving myself credit for what I've done, being, so proud of myself. It hasn't been easy. But again, it's temporary. I'm making it through. I'm, about to graduate, which is really exciting. And then just making sure that I was communicating and learning from my mistakes, is essentially, really helped my field experience. I learned so much during field, and I'm very thankful for, all of the knowledge that I've gained. Because when you're actually in it and you're doing it, it's a little bit different than what you read in a book, obviously. So it was extremely exciting. One thing that I will say is I will definitely, or one thing that I wish I could say to myself looking back is I would definitely make sure that I had a little more time set aside for self-care, just because I think it would have made me feel better. You can't do your best if you don't feel your best. It doesn't mean that I didn't try. So as long as you're trying and you're making an effort, I think it goes a long way. And just making sure you're asking for that support when you need it is really, really essential. It's really key, because you can't do it all by yourself. So that was a little bit about my field experience and my life during that time. So asking for help when needed, reaching out to your field liaison, your supervisor, task advisor, and then just making sure that you're taking care of yourself, and you have, that dedicated time or those boundaries set up to where, during this time, this day at this time, this is what I'm doing. For me, having that strict schedule worked, but, also being adaptable because things can change. Not being upset with myself about that, but I am very excited that I've made it through. And I wish you all the best of luck throughout this semester and your placements.